What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you, and some of you just need to sit down and listen. Because some of you aren't old enough to know what you're actually typing in the comment section. This is Madden 06 PS2. Now, some of us, this is what we played. This was lighting, shading, player models. This was what we were used to and accustomed to, really, with football gaming. And this game appealed to a lot of people. This game was silly in depth, and some of you may be learning something right about now. Madden used to have a create a fan tool, where this guy looks like he's wearing a face mask 15 years before you would want to wear one in a stadium today. But you got to pick your parents in Superstar mode. You had a franchise mode, a season mode. Game modes that appealed to a lot of players. And the franchise mode and season modes had depth like this, where you took an IQ test, where players would reach out to you. There was a coaching carousel. There was a virtual tattoo parlor where you could get a tribal scribble on your virtual arm. It was getting comical. And then this came out. This was the Madden 06 Next Gen trailer, and this is something like we'd never seen before. I remember the first time I saw this, and I thought to myself, this was the future of video games. The images, the clearness, the crispness, the player movement, everything looked like a movie. And that's because later on we learned it was. This was nothing more than a cinematic trailer internally designed for EA to help them understand the message of what they want Madden to become. And personally, I don't think Madden ever got to this point. So when we look at any trailer that EA puts out going from one console generation to the next, we're looking at it through those eyes. Madden 06 Next Gen was a bare-bones game because they wanted to rebuild and start over. And they spent the next 15 years adding it back to where it used to be. When I look at this image of Pat Mahomes from Madden 20, it's photorealistic. No one is going to say that it's not, but when you analyze the details, his blank stare off into nowhere, the blank bumper on the helmet, the jersey folds that never change, and then you look at this, you realize there's a lot of things that are the same. And when you have someone say, it's awful weird that Pat Mahomes is looking blankly off into nowhere when technically, if we're talking about a game that's trying to sell itself as having a concept of a player being able to understand how to score a touchdown and reach out and put the ball across the pylon, wouldn't he be looking at that? Wouldn't his head be turned that direction? Now, I know some people say, well, that's just a giant nitpick. That's ridiculous. But that's how EA has treated some of the consumers that have bought Madden for the last 20 years. We look at everything in question. If you're telling me, you're trying to show me that this logic will be in the game, why does he look here the same way he looks here in last year's game? It doesn't make any sense. Because we've been misled by this company for almost what seems like 20 years in trying to build a better game. And if any of you had to experience the prior generation console leap where you lost every feature the game practically had and came out with essentially a play now team versus team mode, none of you would know how to play this game. Because for many of you, the first thing you would say is, where's Ultimate Team? And I'm not saying that Ultimate Team has ruined Madden, but I'm certainly saying that 15 years ago, there was a lot more things that appealed to gamers. And when they came out and told us about what would be in Madden, they didn't lead with the graphics. They led with depth. They led with something of substance. Something where a gamer would say, hey, that's going to make me want to play it again. Because that is Madden's biggest failure at the moment. No one wants to play this game. And no matter how beautiful you make it look, graphically, the game is not going to be played just because it looks good. I'm sorry. And when EA knows their fan base and their customers, we expect them to respond to us in that fashion. Some of us expect an apology, to be quite frank with you. We're sorry that we ruined an entire generation of console football gaming, but we've committed to make it right. And rather than show you how great the game looks, because you should expect the game to look beautiful when it already looks good and we're going to a next-gen console. Instead, what we're going to do is outline what we've done from a football standpoint to make the football game better. To make a game that John Madden would be proud to see play, not just see pictures of. That's what Madden has been missing. That's what EA knows the consumers across the board want. This game does not satisfy any aspect of its fan group. Your franchise gamers have had enough with a shallow experience that doesn't make sense and leads to poor team builds. Your Madden Ultimate Team gamers have had enough with the game being broken and the same plays being ran over and over and over in their tournaments, and gamers that manipulate personnel groupings so that they can continue to find success when they run the same plays. Your online gaming community is tired of the same plays, even without players being modified, being ran over and over and over to the point they have to patch the game from day 1 to month 8 to try to alleviate stability problems in their game, as well as change the way defenses react to prevent people from running the same play over and over again. 15 years ago, you had people that maybe didn't like Superstar Mode, me being one of them, but found enjoyment in other aspects of the game. And when something came out to improve gameplay, we knew across the board, hey, this game's going to get better for all of us. Madden doesn't do that anymore. And to many of us, that's gotten trailers looked at with a massive grain of salt. Because we're still waiting for something we were sold 16 years ago, when some of you weren't even born. That's the reality of Madden 21. That's the reality of next-gen gaming with EA Sports. There's people in that building that work there that truly don't remember Madden 06 next-gen trailer release. But there's a ton of people in this community that remember the day they saw it and thought to themselves, if this is the future of football gaming, I can't imagine what's going to happen in 5 years or in 10 years. And instead, all we've done since that point is either go backwards or put things back into the game. I'm sorry, Superstar Mode and X Factors aren't a game improvement. They're an animation dependency selector. It's a guarantee of what's going to happen, which is the exact opposite of football the last time I checked. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking out. And you know, I will be back in the week with more commentary.